Cartagena, Colombia's own.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout of the evening is our co-featured event of the night. It is scheduled for 4 rounds, and it takes place in the junior lightweight division. Introducing your combatants. First, fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Rafael Saenz.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are not up to date in the mariachi genre of the la música, this song is also called Bandolero. Cineganos Bandolero. In comes Rafael Saenez out of Cartagena, Colombia. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy, he comes to get it.
And his opponent, fighting out of the R&R Express red corner, please welcome Danny Bodish.
Here is one of the gems of the world-renowned Yankello Gym. Young lightweight Danny Bodish. And like Derek said, took his time coming up as an amateur, was very impressive in his professional debut this past October, and a lot of kudos to this young man for getting right back at it here in late November. Let's not knock any rust off of Bandolero Saenez. The combined opponents, or the combined record of his opponents are 10-1 with 7 knockouts.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout of the evening is our co-featured bout of the night. It is scheduled for 4 rounds, and it takes place in the junior lightweight division, sanctioned by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. Your 3 judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system: John Santori, Phil Rogers, and Stephen Roberts. And once the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action is Chris Riskus. Introducing your combatants. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red, official weight 133 pounds, a veteran of 2 professional contests. He comes to us by Cartagena, Colombia. Please welcome Rafael Bandolero Saenez. His opponent across the ring to my right, fighting out of the R&R Express red corner, wearing black, trimmed in white, official weight 130 pounds. As a professional, his record is perfect. 1 bout, 1 victory, no defeats. He hails from the Steel City of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Please welcome Danny Bodish. Referee Chris Riskus with your official instructions.
All right, gentlemen, you got your instructions in the dressing room. Protect yourselves all the time. Obey my commands all the time. Touch them up. Good luck,
Danny. As the slow chant of Bodish, Bodish, Bodish has rung inside of the Steamfitters Local 449 Union Hall. Like I said, I covered this quick earlier. Saenez's opponents have a combined record of 10-1 with 7 knockouts. So in 2 short fights, as I'm now back alongside my broadcast partner, I will allow him to take his union delegated sip of water. And George Phillips here. And like I told them, George, in 2 short fights for Bandolero Saenez, his combined record of his opponents 10-1, 7 knockouts. So in 2 short fights, this guy has been in with some tough competition. And that's something that Bodish just can't match up to it.
It's going to be hard to match up to the skill level that
Rafael has fought. Both these guys came in shape. I will give Bodish some credit. He comes from Tommy Ankello's gym. That's one of the legendary gyms in Pittsburgh and basically the Midwest. Trained Roy Jones Jr. He's got guys that are on the cusp of a world title. Trained Paul Spadafora. So Danny Bodish is a very lucky young man to have Tommy Ankello in his corner, teaching him decades of boxing experience.
Absolutely. And you know what? This is different. As one thing that Bodish has told me that he wants to really expand on what he's done in his long, concentrated time in the amateurs and now moving in to the transition of his professional career is starting to really focus on those big punches that end those 3 and 4 punch combinations that made him what he was coming into his professional debut, which was punches and bunches and scoring points. But he wants to add that one big punch that can end a fight.
He's trying to cut the ring off right now. This guy, he comes from Colombia. Colombian fighters, Mexican fighters, Puerto Rican fighters do not go down. It's very
tough
rare.
to keep them down too. And
so he's going to get something that all new fighters need, and that's rounds.
But what I can tell you is that, and to attest to the toughness of Bandolero again, Bodish slipped in 2 rough liver shots just then in those body exchanges, and it didn't even move a muscle on Saenz. Not even a muscle.
Rafael came in very, very, very good fighting shape.
These guys, and you know what, I really see this more with the South American, the Brazilian, Colombian, Venezuelan fighters. They're built like brick walls.
Yes.
No matter what weight they come in at. Oh, but Bodish is going to work. And he's got Saenz up against the ropes. And he's got him in trouble. That right hand just knocked him down. And this might be it. He might not be getting up George Phillips. He might not be getting up George Phillips. He is leaning on that shoulder. And we are it. Chris Riskus has called a stop to this contest. And Danny Bodish is victorious in his first knockout victory as a pro. And man, George Phillips against a tough Bandolero Saenz. Oh, ragazzo, Danny Bodish. He came to work today, folks. Let's see a replay of that knockout one more time, Dave, if you could. From the other angle, bang! That right straight, right on the top of the temple. And the doctors are still with Bandolero Saenz. He is just coming back into this realm of reality, folks. That replay brought to you by Combat Sports Now. A nod to that production crew who's bringing us to you live here on pay-per-view. Inside of the local Steamfitters 449 hall. I have to flag down the powers that be, but another intermission? Are we doing the intermission after this? So confirmed by the head of the table, Derek Giunta, we will go to a short intermission before our world title fight. And God has spoken divinely. And Rafael Saenz is up and under his own accord and walking out of the ring under his own power, which is what we all want to see. The competitive nature of these boxers give them an unfair way of being looked at, that a lot of these guys are just savages and want to hurt their opponents. But, you know, this is called a sweet science for a reason. And, you know, sometimes you are just on the receiving end of a bad dose of science. And that's what happened this evening with Bandolero Saenz. So now the new record, the new combined record of his opponents is 12-1 with 8 knockouts, as he is a victim of his first knockout loss as a professional. And I think we are about to head to George Phillips to tie a bow on this one. Sometimes, like I told you guys earlier, you just let the atmosphere speak for itself. And feel it, folks. The tension's getting higher. We are inching closer and closer to our world title contest. And before we, and right when we get into intermission, I'm going to be joined alongside famous cut man, promoter, manager, and again, friend, Mike McSorley. We're going to talk some integrity.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes, 59 seconds of round number 1. Referee Chris Riskus calls a halt to the contest at the count of 10. Your winner by knockout and still undefeated, Danny Bodish.
And that is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. 2-0 now for Yankello product, Danny Bodish. And before I head to intermission, we give you guys a short break before our world title fight between Mary Casamassa and Adriana Arujo. I am joined alongside, again, a man of many names, a man of many titles, promoter, manager, cut man, coach, husband, father. Tonight, my favorite title of him is friend, and I'm joined alongside Mike McSorley, one half of the dynamic duo that is Integrity Fighter Management, alongside with J.J. Richardson. But we're here to talk. We're here to talk February the 8th, right? February the 8th. Is that the right date? February the 8th, where Integrity Fighter Management will be back and inside the historic, which is a venue we've really made a home at, inside of North Shore's Priory Hotel, the Grand Hall inside the Priory. They've really made us feel at home there, and that's really, in my opinion, that's our home venue.